Joke overview.
看笑话。
Joking. Kevin has a new girlfriend. One day he asked her, "If I want to marry you, what do you expect from me?" The girl said, "I expect that you have a big house, a big car, and a US dollar 6-digit number savings account in the bank." Kevin said, "No problem. I have a cottage, yacht, and an 8-digit number savings account in the bank." The girl said, "Wow, it sounds perfect. I hope you're not joking." "I hope you were not joking too," said Kevin. Key words.
学词语。开玩笑。
Make a joke.
开玩笑。开玩笑。别墅。
Villa.
别墅。别墅。准备。
Prepare.
准备。准备。开玩笑。别墅。准备。开玩笑。别墅。准备。开玩笑。别墅。准备。
Make a sentence.
学句子。在办公室里，不要随便开玩笑。
Don't make jokes casually in the office.
在办公室里，不要随便开玩笑。在办公室里，不要随便开玩笑。
Review.
复习。开玩笑。别墅。准备。在办公室里，不要随便开玩笑。
Joking. Kevin has a new girlfriend. One day he asked her, "If I want to marry you, what do you expect from me?" The girl said, "I expect that you have a big house, a big car, and a US dollar 6-digit number savings account in the bank." Kevin said, "No problem. I have a cottage, yacht, and an 8-digit number savings account in the bank." The girl said, "Wow, it sounds perfect. I hope you're not joking." "I hope you were not joking too," said Kevin. Do you understand?
你明白了吗？
Now we will learn the last of the basic knots, another double knot called the double tie knot. This double tie knot is extremely simple. It is only 2 movements. However, this knot is particularly flexible and it can be used in many situations. This double tie knot can be used to make any kind of design or shape you can imagine and create. Let's take a look at the basic tying method. Strictly speaking, this double tie knot defines the substance of Chinese knotting. It requires a rather long string. The tying method is just 2 movements. Let's use some sewing pins to pin the string to the table. String, making a row of knots with the other strings. The second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth strings are all tied with the first string. The motion is really simple. The top string is pulled tight, then the second string is looped over top. This makes a single knot that ties these 2 strings together. Continue tying these same strings again. This is a complete double knot. The second string follows this pattern. Tie the strings together from top to bottom and finish with the second knot. This knot is called a double tie knot because the 2 strings are tied together twice. Follow the same pattern on the third string, then the fourth and fifth strings too. We can see a straight line formed. The next step displaces the first string, and the second string becomes the axis string, around which the other strings are tied. Once, twice, once, twice. Once, twice. At the end of the row, take the axis string and the first string hanging below and tie them together. The front face of the knot piece is maintained. It maintains a working axis string and 5 secondary strings. The motions simply repeat. After we have tied several rows, we will see the basic pattern and style of this kind of double tie knot. At the end of this row, join the axis string to the third string. To continue with this pattern, I will tie 2 more rows. We will see the basic features emerge. The third, fourth, and fifth strings, and tie another row. One, two, three, 4, 5. Now we can see the basic striped design. It is tightly woven and lovely. It has a nice three-dimensional feel. This is the basic style of the double tie knot composed of these double ties. The method is extremely simple, 2 ties for each string. However, 2 strings or different tying orientations can be used to make a knot composition of a specific creature or object because it is well suited to make 3-dimensional Chinese knotting objects. Let's take a look at some designs in this book. We can see that this is a picture of a large goose with a gaggle of small geese. Look at the tying method for this goose. This part here, the long neck, is made of the wheat tassel knot we have learned previously. We also use this knot to make the turtle's neck. The wings here on the body are made of the double tie knot, arranged in artistic rows. I have several compositions here of all sizes that employ the double tie knot style. First, let's look at this lovely butterfly. This butterfly composition is a classic example of a piece that uses the double tie knot. This central axis here in gold string is surrounded by a sequence of double tie knots in rows of alternating colors: red, yellow, dark green, light blue, etc. They are all tied around the axis. The group of strings on the right composes the right side wings. The group of strings on the left make the left side wings. This piece is called Butterfly in Spring. Because of the knotting style, this butterfly seems relaxed and dignified, with a very vibrant appearance. This also represents Happy New Year greetings. Let's look at this fish. The body is composed of double tie knots. This piece skillfully uses different colors to create a dynamic appearance. In Chinese knotting, the fish represents affluence. Because fish produce many eggs, the fish represents many children. This fish composition is made of the double tie knots we learned, with wheat tassels hanging below. Many sayings can be represented by fish. For example, year after year surplus harvests and an abundance of wealth. They all include fish homonyms and convey lucky meanings. This goldfish piece uses bold colors and rows of double tie knots. Those goldfish are quite lifelike. 2 goldfish facing each other gives this piece a high artistic value.
Run out of energy. One day, everyone in the office was complaining about their wife. "My wife is too talkative," said Tom. Everyone else complained about theirs, too. Only Zhang says nothing while smiling. "Do you remember my very talkative parrot?" Everyone nods their head. "He's dead," said Zhang loudly. "He lost all his energy and died when he had an argument with my wife a few days ago." Guess again. Zhao Xia is a kind and shy girl. She is often afraid of rejecting people. One day, a colleague wanted to borrow some money from her. She didn't have enough money, but didn't want to tell him no directly. Her colleague kept pushing her. "Can you lend the money to me?" Just tell me directly.
Zhao Zha.
Was too shy to reject him directly, so she said, "You guess." "Yes," guessed the colleague.
Zhao Zha.
Lowered her head and said, "Wrong. Please guess again." Matchmaking. A lady is looking for an ideal husband who is not too tall, well-dressed, and who enjoys ice sports. She enters all the requirements in a computer in the matchmaking center. A few minutes later, the results come back. Penguin. To prescribe medicine according to the disease. A couple who had no knowledge about computers encountered a lot of problems while setting up a computer at home. The husband called a computer service center to ask for help. "Sir, could you talk to me as though I were a 4-year-old child who does not have any understanding of computers?" "Okay. Please ask your mother to come to the phone."
At this composition. This is one of 10 elements included in the traditional grouping known as abundant harvest of all food crops. This is also described as surplus crops filling the storehouse. These two strings are tied using the typical double tie knot, usually used for fish composition. It uses gradual color changes nicely, which makes this piece irresistible. This style has been popular for many years. It represents our best aspirations and wishes, so it has always remained popular. This composition shows us that Chinese knotting can be used not only for designs and animal shapes, but also to form Chinese characters. In the middle, this is a full character meaning blessings of happiness. You can see this is also a piece in the season's design with wish knots in all 4 corners. This giant piece here is composed with double tie knots. This is a whale's fish matched with a pair of peanut-shaped knots made using another tying method. This piece is overflowing with feelings of joy, luck, and cheer. Chinese knot compositions can be made with all knots we learned, in addition to the double tie knot. All the knots can be used to compose variations on a theme. This piece uses the flat knot we learned. The flat knot can not only be used on round shapes, but also on a heart-shaped piece like this. Let me lay it flat. In the center of this piece, there's a large blank space. In addition to this decorative border, we can follow our feelings and select a character to place inside. We could choose Xi, meaning happy, or Fu, meaning blessings, or Cai, meaning wealth. When we make this kind of composition, we are expressing our feelings and friendship. When we give this kind of piece to a friend, we are giving them a sense of our true affections. Most Chinese knotting compositions are circular. This piece, however, is square. It is square. On each of the 4 sides, A thick cord is used to tie giant peace knots. This is a peace in all seasons composition. In the middle here, we can see a classic pair of Mandarin ducks. This represents a wedding celebration. At the top, this is a xi character for happiness. This kind of piece is usually displayed at a wedding location or given to a couple engaged to be wed. Look at this next piece. This is called a celebration composition. This shape is similar to an ancient musical instrument. Below is another celebration knot. When we designed this piece, we decided to use love knots to represent feelings of love. The large shape is like a peach pit, representing the heart of love. Inside is also a heart shape. This is made of love knots. These exquisite handmade roses also represent love. This is composed of love knots. This design is quite popular with young people. We can see now that Chinese knotting can symbolize the invocation of blessings, celebration, personal feelings, friendship, wishes for good fortune, happiness, and peace. All of our beautiful heartfelt aspirations can be expressed through these small compositions. Moreover, they are all handmade. These pieces cannot be replaced by machine-made products. Our sentiments can be expressed using our own two hands. We can use our knowledge of Chinese knots or our skills learned in training to select a composition, to make and give to friends and family and share our hopeful wishes. We have studied the basic Chinese knots. I hope everyone will be able to first practice the basic knots and second use the basic knots we have learned. And join them together into meaningful compositions. I hope you can truly master these knots. Apply them as you learn more and give free rein to your creativity. I hope you will use these fine skills. Chinese knot compositions are actually an expression of our happy feelings and our beautiful existence. That is the conclusion of our introduction to the basic Chinese knots. Thank you, everyone.
To like someone. Ming told his friends that he was going to write an anonymous letter to a girl he liked. After some time passed, his friends asked him, what was her reaction? Very agitated. Great. And then? She called the police. The reason she called the police is that Ming cut words out of the newspaper and put them together in a letter saying, I have been watching you for a while. Kindness and catch a cold. The day before yesterday was my sister's 10th wedding anniversary. My wife and I were invited to their home for dinner. During dinner, my wife asked my sister, why did you decide to date your future husband? One day, we watched a free movie arranged for by the company. It was a great love story with a sad ending. I was very touched and cried during the movie. I noticed that my date was blowing his nose often and seemed very sad too. I believed that he must be a very kind person and liked him from that day. After dinner, while my wife and my sister were busy washing dishes in the kitchen, I praised my brother-in-law as a good actor. I was not acting at all that day. I was catching a cold. Hospitality. An old family friend stopped by without any notice. The hostess was embarrassed that they had run out of cheese. Her son, Tom, found some and put it in the guest's plate. The guest asked while he put it in his mouth, "Kid, where did you find the cheese?" Tom replied, "In a mouse trap." Sleeping pills. One day at a family gathering, Lily said, "Did you see my show? The ratings are great, and I have received many compliments." Everyone was smiling. Her mother said, "Yes, you are great. We watch it every night to fall asleep to." The car accident. There was a serious car accident on the highway. A car crashed into a pole. The passengers were injured and in a coma. While the police were investigating, a monkey jumped out from the bushes. He understood our language. The policeman wanted to learn more, so he asked the monkey, "What were the passengers doing when the car crashed?" The monkey put 2 fingers to his mouth. The policeman asked, "They were smoking?" The monkey nodded. Then he asked the monkey, "What were you doing during that time?" The monkey signed that he was driving. To my only love. In a jewelry store, a young man walked back and forth in front of the counter and chose an expensive necklace for his girlfriend. Then the jeweler told him, "Our store will inscribe the necklace for you for free. Would you like to inscribe your girlfriend's name on the necklace?" "That's a good idea, but don't inscribe her name on it. Inscribe these words, 'To my only love,' so that it will still be useful even though we break up."